Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Brad, go ahead and say something in the mic.
Hello.
Are we on live? All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Racin At Rockford live Sunday night. We were off for 1 week, and I have a very special guest and a very special night. We are here at Windsor Pizza Parlor. Everybody, make some noise if you're a Windsor Pizza Parlor. Yeah. All right. Sitting next to me is the one, the only, the legend. You know him as Bad Brad Hefton.
Please keep it down. No.
Brad, it's an honor to sit next to you. Now,
Thank
Brad,
you. Hey.
for those people who don't know you,
Yeah.
please tell people what you used to do. Besides, well, you'd say beat people up, but what else? Is there another way of putting it?
Pain and suffering. Yeah. No.
And you, what you held a belt to something as well. What did you hold the belt
Heavyweight, super heavyweight title. Kickboxing.
Yeah. All over the world.
Yes.
All right.
No.
And tonight, you are going to go ahead and draw the winning ticket right off the bat. We are going to be drawing for the 2007 Pontiac G6. And a lot of people are like, hey, can you, pick my number? Can you pick it? So
Just remember, if the heater don't work and the air's not, don't call,
So, Brad, I'm going to shake it up, and then you're going to dig it up. You're going to dig in there real far and get the ticket. So everybody listening, this is it. Here we go. All right, Brad, there's a lot of tickets. There's a lot of people that want to make their races, their racing dreams come true.
I love you all, but I can only pick one. No.
All right, here we go for the winning ticket from Windsor Pizza Parlor's winter race car here at the Racin At Rockford show. Here we go. It's drawn. Go. I'll let you read it.
I can see that.
Okay. All right. The winner is for the 2007 Pontiac G6. I don't think this is a race car driver either, so this may be a new one. Shane Hamilton, you are the winner of a 2007 Pontiac G6. Phone number is 815-540-7422. Shane, you need to come on down. Are you here right now? Is Shane here? He's not running, so, okay, he's not here. So, Shane, you're going to need to come down to the Windsor Pizza Parlor and go ahead and claim your race car. Make sure you have a trailer. That would probably be a good idea, right?
And the air conditioner is on right now on that thing, I'm telling you.
Well, we'll save that. So, Brad, I want to talk just a little bit about you, just a little bit with you for a little bit. You've been all over, would you say the world? You've fought all over the world?
Never left the United States, but yes, California to East Coast.
How many years?
And I hate to fly. I really hate to fly. I would fly somewhere, and my brother would pick me up to drive me home. So that's how bad it was. I mean, that's how afraid I am to fly.
How many years would you say you did kickboxing for?
15.
That's a long time.
15 too long.
And how many rounds normally is in one kickboxing match? Is it
12 rounds.
Have you ever knocked somebody out in the first round?
Plenty.
Very nice. All right.
If I didn't, that's what happened earlier in my career. If I didn't do that, I probably could have been Chrysler guy, been retired.
Brad, who did you cheer for in the Super Bowl? Because I know Green Bay wasn't there. My wife was very disappointed Green Bay wasn't in there. But who were you cheering for?
It wasn't for Tampa Bay, but that's where I put my money.
Tampa Bay. Well, I say you bet right, because that was a one-sided game for
Absolutely.
sure. Anything you want to say to all the fans out here who are listening to you right now?
Hey, that's all about the fans. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I love all the fans. That's what kept me going. It's just the people come up and talk to you, and makes you feel good. That's all I got to say.
And I got your
makes that pain
too.
and suffering a lot easier. Hey, to Rockford. Hey.
Yeah. What high school did you go to? For those that didn't know.
Guilford.
Yeah. So everybody, if you didn't know, Brad Hefton, Bad Brad Hefton, you couldn't pay me to go into the ring with you. No way, no how. Not even now. I'm no way. I want no way. You're my idol, man.
I thank everybody. I really.
Thank you, Brad, so much.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, one more time for Bad Brad Hefton. All right, now I'm gonna bring on my next guest. Thank you so much.
Got you. No, hey, anytime.
And now we're going to bring on our next guest.
Yes, I am. I'm coming.
All right. coming on the show now. Once again, I'm sorry, everybody. We had a little technical difficulty. We had to do a last-second laptop switch as the one we normally, I just got all this audio equipment, and, of course, it just has to be a problem. But anyways, you're not here to hear about that. You're here to hear about what happened. So Shane Hamilton is going to be our winner of the G6 race car giveaway. That's pretty awesome. So thank you for joining us here at the Racin' at Rockford show. I'd like to welcome this evening's guest. This would be the one, the only, in redemption mode. Actually, that's not anymore. We're in 2021. David Russell Jr., how are you, sir?
Just fine.
And next to you, who's that? Go ahead and hand the mic over to him. Who's this guy?
Dad.
Okay, get closer. Who is that?
Dad.
Very good, very good. And David Russell, just a little bit about you. What division do you run for people that don't know? Maybe that people that are listening in a different state. What division do you currently race in?
The American Short Tracker. I run the number 8.
They're just called American Short Trackers? They're called the Miller Lite American Short Trackers.
I'm
All
just
right.
a driver.
Ways to also we weren't able to play the theme song tonight, and that's because we had to do the last second laptop switch. This problem will be fixed next week. I promise you. We've finally got the audio fixed. We've got the internet fixed. Our music normally done by OGMC, Old Gray Music Company. Ways to connect with us. Our email address is racinatRockford@gmail.com, or you can message us here on Facebook as well. If you'd like to sponsor the show, we have a couple of sponsorship packages. Email us on that. Or if you'd like to be a guest on the show. Sponsor break, a special thank you to right here, Windsor Pizza Parlor, home of the best Italian beef in Northern Illinois. How many of you here at Windsor Pizza love the Italian beef? Make some noise if you love the Windsor Italian beef. I love it with cheddar, my God. Well, tonight I had a calzone, and that was really, really good. Also sponsored by Jimmy A. A very special thank you to Jimmy A. for sponsoring us. Magnuson Landscaping, if you need your driveway plowed, you can call them 815-315-7819. And Jane's Cafe, located right behind Cornelia Fireworks.
Turn that down.
So I've got some general track news here I want to go over with everybody. And that's going to be the banquet, which is coming up on Saturday, February 27th. The reservation deadline is February 20th. You will need to get your tickets if you want to reserve your spot by February 20th. You can go on to www.rockfordspeedway.com for that form. Also, the 2021 rule book is now available at rockfordspeedway.com, and we do have some official scheduled dates. Now, I know, David, you've got to be excited as to we finally have a couple dates. For instance, the Spring Classics scheduled for either Saturday, April 24th, or Sunday, April 25th. The Enduro is scheduled for either Saturday, May 8th. Excuse me. I missed a line here. I should say Saturday, May 1st, or Sunday, May 2nd. Are you going to do the Enduro, David?
Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe, because I know you got a couple of cars. We'll get into that. And then the 74 season opener is scheduled for Saturday, May 8th. So everybody, if you're wanting to know when the official season opener is starting, it's going to be on Saturday, May 8th. I need to pull up the comments here because now there we go. Now we're good to go here. I'm just trying to get all my comments up here because we were having all kinds of problems here. Shout out to Ronnie Robinson, the 47 Miller Lite American Short Tracker. I think you raced against that guy, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's the one who bought my trailer.
What is it now?
Yeah, I sold him my enclosed.
Okay. No new division news. We covered a lot of it, the drivers that were moving up last week, and then Beer Man was a guest on the Outside the Fence show last Friday, and he made an announcement on their show what he's going to be doing, but we'll have to wait to get official confirmation for Beer Man as to when I can do that on the show. I don't know if I'm going to get to do that, but I don't have any other news for Big 8 except for the rule book's out for them. They're getting closer to have their schedule done. No new news for Midwest Dash Series or ARCA Midwest Tour. So let's get into the interview. David, I have 20 questions for you. Are you Are you going to be able to handle 20 questions?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, you hooked me up with this really cool apparel I've got right now. My Racin at Rockford Russell Motorsport. I'm trying to read it upside down. Russell Motorsports. And on the back, it's got still cool stuff. And I've also got a really cool tumbler here. It's got my Russell Motorsports and Racin at Rockford on it. And then on the back side, it's got my son, Greg Magnuson's number 54 on it. So how cool is that?
Yeah, Heidi's Creation who made the shirts, hats.
Who was that made it?
Heidi's Creation.
Heidi's Creations. Oh, there's a free plug there for Heidi's Creations. Okay. Now on to the questions, David. Are you ready for this?
Bring it on.
Okay, are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. David, you've got some family members that have raced at the Rockford Speedway. Who from your family has all raced, and what divisions have they raced in at the Rockford Speedway?
Start out back. Who started in the racing in my family would have been my grandfather, who's passed away. He's raced in American short trackers back in the days.
Who was your grandfather?
Don Sr.
Don Russell Sr. Okay.
Correct.
Now, I know there was a Don Russell out there that I've seen that car,
Correct.
But that's not the same one.
No, it started with my grandpa, who started racing the short trackers, and then he retired of racing short trackers, and then my dad started back in 1986. No, 85. 1985.
1986. 1985.
85.
All right. Like, wait a minute. I don't think the racetrack was around then.
1985. He started, and he ran in American short trackers back then, and a Chevy.
Let's ask him. Give him the mic. So
I ran a Chevy Vega back in the day.
This is David Russell Jr.'s dad, David Russell Sr. What did you run back in the day?
I had a...
Get close to it. Within two fingers.
I had a Chevy Vega.
A Chevy Vega.
Chevy Vega.
Are those even around anymore?
No, they're not. I bought that car from Dave Wagner. He drove it for a while. I bought it complete. It was all race ready to go from him because his father, Les Wagner, had built a car which he was putting David in. So David was selling that one, and I decided I wanted to go racing. So I bought that from him for $500, went out, put it together, went over the winter. The next year went out put it on the track.
You bought a short tracker for $500?
$500, race ready.
What would you give right now for an American short tracker for $500, David Jr.?
Oh, I'll jump on that because I know what we got tied in these cars.
Okay, go ahead, though.
After I bought that, I redid the car, put it together, went out the first year, and the first race out, I finished third in the race, beating Dave Wagner.
Okay, you beat him?
I beat Dave
in the
Wagner.
car that
we
you
have
bought
a picture of it somewhere at home of me in the car,
yeah,
and I was ahead of him at the checker flag.
Okay, so your grandpa raced, your dad raced.
My father raced. It started back in the about 1965.
So you guys all started racing, and in '65 there were no Miller Lite American short trackers.
No.
What did you race at? What were they called?
He had a Volvo, but he'd race.
Wait. A Volvo?
A Volvo.
A Volvo?
Yes, a Volvo.
Okay.
But he raced with the VWs.
Now they called that division the mini stockers.
Mini stockers.
That was like all the VW Beetles. Is that what
Yes.
he drove? A slug bug.
Slug bug.
Oh my gosh. How many of you remember slug bugs at the Rockford Speedway? I don't. I only remember one, and that's at Bahama Brackets. Tracy Niu is the driver of that car. So, yeah. So, okay, so it was your grandpa. Now, back to you. Your grandpa, your dad, you, and who else?
Now, I started with my grandpa, my dad.
Yeah.
Then my Uncle Don. That's when my dad only raced the 1 year.
Yeah.
And then my Uncle Don started racing the American short trackers.
Okay.
And he's been racing for a long time. And once my grandfather passed away, he retired of racing and sold his car, and it just moved on. And then I started.
I'll get to you next. Well, that's coming up next. Okay, so I just wanted to find out the family there. So, what made you decide to race, David?
Just love the sport. Love watching. Went out to the track, watching my family, my uncle racing. I just couldn't get. I just loved watching it.
Did you ever see your grandfather race?
No, I was
No.
only born in 1983.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just an age check there. Yeah. Was there someone who inspired you to race?
It was my uncle,
Your uncle Don.
my Uncle Don.
Okay. Everybody's name starts with a D. What's up with that? What was your grandfather's first name?
D.
Oh, interesting. Now, is there a reason? What's up with that?
I don't know. Ask this guy. It's all D's around here.
All right, let's send it over to your dad. What's up with that? All the D's for first names.
I don't have any idea what's the first name. It's just when I was born, Mom said David, and then they went with my brother, which is Don, and they always wanted. My father wanted a junior, so they named him Junior.
I get that. I'm a junior too.
And well, my third brother, his name is Mike.
Mike, we have a Mike.
We have a Mike.
What happened?
Then
So
we have
Michael
a Mark.
never raced because it's not a D, right?
We have a Mark too.
You have a Mark. Okay. Will
And a
Mark
Candy.
race?
No,
Okay. All right. Right. David, back to you, David Jr. What year did you start racing?
I started racing back in 07.
So right before I ran Legends.
Correct.
Okay.
I ran a bunch of different cars.
Let's get into that. Speaking of that, what other divisions have you raced at Rockford?
Let's see. I played in school buses.
You drove a school bus.
Yup.
The figure 8.
Figure 8.
Did
Oval.
you hit anybody?
Oh no.
You didn't hit anybody.
Nope. I had a little bus.
You had the short bus.
I had the short bus.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
That's all they give me.
Yeah.
I ran in the school buses. That was when I started getting into playing on the track.
Sure.
Then I jumped from doing school buses, then doing the night of thrills, and then doing like skid cars and stuff. And then I started jumping
Wait,
into.
you did those crazy skid cars too?
Correct.
Oh my.
And then I started running into a band at a good friend, Mark, who got me a car, and I started racing band. Back then, they called Hornets, not Bandits.
Is that Mark the Beetle Bielefeld you're talking
Correct.
about? Okay, gotcha. All right. What division do you want to race in someday?
I've been in almost all divisions, but one.
What's that?
That's the sportsman's division. I ran the late models.
When did you run late models?
Back in, I had a Mid-Am Super Truck. I ran back at Rockford, and we did
Oh, okay,
the Traveler.
sure. Okay.
And I ran with the late models.
Do you want to run sportsman?
Correct. I want to run sports because that's the next division I haven't never been in. I've been
Okay.
in all the divisions and raced.
But you've raced Miller Lite American short trackers a long time. Why the Miller Lite American short trackers?
I enjoy. I mean, yes, it's a 4-cylinder, but it's more challenging because yes, you don't got 8 cylinders. You got 4 cylinders. It's more you gotta drive the car harder to be competitive. You don't got 8 cylinders pulling you through the corners. Means have more fun trying to drive against everybody else who's got the same, and it's just a different driving.
Okay. Everybody that's chiming in and giving comments, I appreciate your comments. I'm going to go through all the comments once we're done with the interview. That way it doesn't last as long because I know our shows have gone close to 2 hours the last time I had a show, and I don't want it to be that long. David, why did you choose the number 8, Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
No, that number 8's been in our family since my grandpa started racing.
So has anybody in your family not raced the number? Well, you had another car, but besides that one, has anybody else in your family not driven a number 8?
Yeah, this guy right here.
What number did he drive? What number did you drive?
I had
senior?
7.
7.
7.
Now I remember a Jack Sokolsky driving a number
Jack
7.
Sokolsky had it. Well, the first year I took 7, Jack wasn't in it.
Okay.
So I was coming back the second year to race it, and I went to register, and they told me that Jack wanted his number back. Well, then I took 17 and drove 17 for a while.
But you didn't want 8.
I wanted 8, but it was already taken. I couldn't get it.
Okay, so there was no 8X or 8Z.
No.
8D would have been your number.
Yeah, that would have been a good one, yeah.
Yeah. All right. David, on more on a personal level about you here, how does your wife and daughter and sisters feel about you racing? Do they completely support you in everything you do for racing?
Correct. My wife, she's the backbone of it. She makes sure if I try to give up, I says I'm done, she won't let me. I sold my car, my short tracker.
Have you gotten to the point where you wanted to give up before?
Oh yeah, I wanted.
How many times?
Enough, I can't count. It's
Okay.
just there's times I wasn't having fun, and once you're not having fun, it's no longer. It's like I want to give up. But my wife told me no, and all that. She pushed me through, and I tried different divisions, and then I tried them, and I went back to short trackers, and this past 2020, that was the first year I finally had fun
Okay.
since I've been racing with the short trackers.
Were you hoping you'd win the Sixer?
Oh, yeah. I would have given it to my daughter because she's complaining because I sold her Super Cup.
What do you think about this Windsor Pizza Parlor place?
Oh,
here,
I love
David?
it. I'm here.
What's your favorite thing to eat here?
Everything.
There's got to be something you like the most, though.
I love the boneless wings.
Boneless wings are your favorite? What flavor? Which one?
Barbecue.
Barbecue, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like I had a calzone in it. You ever had a calzone?
Yeah, we had that tonight.
That was good. I took the garlic sauce and just dumped it all over it. If you want a calzone, come to Windsor Pizza Parlor, everybody. I'm telling you right now. Now I got a question for your dad here next, okay? I got two of them actually. David Senior, you've always been at the track with your son. I believe you're his crew chief. I'd like to bring up the last couple of races in the 2020 season as he was top 3 in points. Were you really nervous during this time with races running out? I mean, it was getting down and the COVID-19 problems that we had to start the season. We got a late start and how they had altered the schedule. We were going into championship night, NSTC weekend. Were you nervous towards this last run?
The last 3 races, I'd say let's go with the last 3. Yeah, I was okay. First 2, I knew where he was in points. I knew how he had been running. He was really running very well. In the features, he actually did much better than the past. He finished, I think, second 3 times. When it got down to the last race, I was very nervous because it had been the first time, even though my brother had raced, it had actually been the first time I was involved in getting to maybe be a champion.
Has the Russell family brought home a Miller Lite American Short Tracker Championship yet?
No.
Not yet. But you were top.
Many years ago, believe it or not, Bleacher Creatures started. It actually started with our family.
Wait a minute. You guys started
We are the original
Bleacher
Bleacher Creatures.
Why would you choose to sit over there? The view?
It
'Cause I know it's
wasn't.
a
I
different
didn't
view.
sit over there. How Bleacher Creatures actually started was when Don raced. His wife was there all the time,
Okay.
and with her friends.
Uh-huh.
And I don't exactly know how it started, but one the announcer up there had said something about Don Russell and the Bleacher Creatures, which was Ann, his wife, and all their friends.
Oh, wow.
And there was always a stack of friends over there.
Sure.
And one year, several years after that, they had T-shirts made with the Bleacher Creature on it.
Oh, that's awesome. David, I do have another question for you, Senior. Sometimes bad luck strikes at the worst possible time, as we all know. And I remember that being the case with the final 3 points nights remaining, as we just talked about.
Yes.
What went wrong that night? Because I remember, I think it was during the heat race. I think it was the second to last night, if I remember right. Something went wrong with the car. It was the feature. David, what happened then? And you're the crew chief. So what had happened?
Quite don't remember. I believe that
David Jr. chime in if you don't remember. Okay.
I had an upper control arm fail, caused me to hit the wall. I was racing Aaron Rude. I was running right behind where I should be with the points leader, top 1, 2. I come out of turn 4, and all I know is the car went sideways, and I caught the wall, and come off of turn 2, I hit it again, and I ended the night, and I knew something was wrong, and I rolled into the pits, and we jacked it up. They was going to try to put tires back on to get me back out, but we noticed under the car we had a control arm was broken, and that's what failed and put me in the wall.
Were you nervous that night coming into that night? Be honest.
I'll be honest, no. I come in to race and focus. If you come in nervous, then you're going to be more worried about screwing up. I come in and focus just to race and race my competitive and just try to bring the car home in one piece.
Okay. In 2019, you decided to race 2 divisions, Miller Lite American Short Trackers and American Super Cups. In the American Super Cup division, what different tracks did you race at?
First one to be my home track, Rockford. Slinger, the Dells, Golden Sands, Tolman.
What's Slinger like to race an American Super Cup car on?
Wide open, and it's a blast. It's just like a bull ring.
Is that the fastest track for that division too?
The Slinger is correct.
Now you bought a pretty nice car too, if I remember right. I think that was a former championship car, wasn't it?
Man of Bones.
That's right.
That was her car. She raced, and me and George made a deal out, and I picked it up, and I ran it, and I had fun in it.
How do you like racing against Amanda Bone in the Miller Lite American Short Tracker division?
Fun. Had fun racing. Almost.
She's never tried to put you in the wall or anything?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Nope.
Have you ever bowled against her?
No.
She could beat me. Could she beat you?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I can bowl, but no, probably.
Yeah, she's pretty good. In the American Short Trackers, what other tracks have you raced at besides Rockford?
Only track I ran was Jefferson, the 2-night show.
Yeah.
And it was okay. I never raced there before. And it was a difficult track to run. I mean, trying to figure it out with the 4-cylinder, and it's totally different running a bank track into a flat track.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I know where you're coming from on that. I want to talk about somebody who actually helps out from time to time here at Windsor Pizza Parlor, Todd Snow. Todd Snow is a good friend to you, and from what you've told me, you guys are like teammates. What's it like racing against friends, and if you are friends like that, are you friends on the track?
Gloves are off. There's no friends on the track. We race.
But your gloves are on though when you're racing.
Okay,
though, right?
gloves are on,
All right,
but they're, when we're on the track, it's game. We don't. It's who's gonna beat who. Of course, I'm sorry, I beat him.
Yeah, there's that. We'll have him on as a guest later. I'll do that later. But anyways, so. But when you're because Todd Snow, he helps out a lot of people. I know he's helped you out a time or two.
Correct.
But I mean, like let's just say he was in front of you in a feature, and he was in the first row on the outside, and you were in the second row. Would Todd kind of help you, do you think, or no?
No, we put trust racing each other. We've been racing long enough to each other. We can race side by side, and we can trust each other. But it's who can drive deeper in the corner.
Who can drive? Okay, all right. Who can drive deeper in the corner? Now, Todd Snow is best friends with breakout Sean Bauer. This I know. They've both told me. He's the 2020 Miller Lite American Short Tracker division. You both ran top 5 in points throughout almost the entire 2020 season. One night in the 2020 season, he was in a different car. He was driving a rear-wheel drive car because there was some kind of major issue that he had with his, I think it's a Honda he normally drives. Prelude, okay, yeah. And one night, though, coming out of turn 4 during a feature race, I don't remember who did what to who, but you guys had made contact, and David, you hit the front stretch wall, I think right before the finish line or right after?
Right after the finish line.
And you hit it pretty hard. Would you relive that night, what you could tell us?
Oh, yeah.
That from that moment when you came out of turn 4, what was going on?
It was me and Tim, the 33. We were running.
Tim Finstad.
I was passing him. We was behind Bauer, and of course he was in Pretty Boy's short tracker. That's the car he was driving, and he's never been in a.
Wait. The Pretty Boy,
The
Steven
Pretty Boy.
Erickson? Okay,
Steve
all
Erickson.
right, yeah.
He was in his car, and he's never been in a rear-wheel drive car. And before it happened in turn 4, we come out of going down the backstretch. He was a little out of control, and me and Tim went to the bottom, going into 3 and 4 to try to clear him because he didn't have car control.
Okay.
And next thing you know, we almost come out of 4. We almost cleared Bauer. I almost cleared Bauer, and all I remember is I see the inside wall, and next thing I know, I reached for my switches, killed the motor, just a react, killed the motor, and I was knocked out from finish line to the end. I didn't respond.
What you were knocked out? You were like...
I was unconscious.
Really?
And I ended up in turn 1 on the bottom. All I remember is I waking up and...
What night was that on? Do you remember what night that was? Because race fans can tune into Misfit Productions and watch that night that happened. Was it in August? I'm thinking, or was it July?
No, August.
It was in August. I know the way to tell is look at the old style car you had, and then look at the new style, and you can kind of figure out the last night you had your old car.
It was in August. It was only, I think, it was our third night out of racing.
Okay.
And I think I think he had problems with his Prelude the second night out, and he borrowed Dana Lapierre's car and jumped in that.
That's driven normally by Pretty
Boy
Steven
Steve
Erickson. Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I got destroyed, like I said, and he kind of did me a favor because after car got put back together, I mean, I got to thank three people 3 divisions out there who helped me.
And I want you to tell everybody who helped. Now, you didn't even miss a week. You were back out the next time. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I thought you were going to be gone a while.
I thought I was done.
Who helped you get this going for you?
I got a bunch of people who helped me out. I got to start with Mark Bielefeld, who helped me out. I got Predator Chassis, Ron Bridges, Tom, and
Todd
Bridges. They're the one who put that car back together. Tim Finstead is the one who donated the money to make sure my car was together because I was done.
Yeah.
And Ben Powler, who donated parts and stuff. My career.
Ben Powler?
Yep, the 50 car.
He owned the 50 American Short Track.
Correct.
Right? Now that was driven by Sean Rickelman, the Dark Horse, I think they call him, right? Okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead.
But once my car got wrecked, I was done. I woke back up. I said this 2020 season's done. I was done. I can't afford it to get back together because after I seen the car destroyed, I was over. And everybody, after I came back in the pits, car got brought in, man, everybody from my division came over, made sure I was okay, looked it over, and they started thinking. I was like, I told them I'm done. I can't put this together. Yeah. And that's when Tim chimed in. Everybody chimed in.
Is that when your wife picked you back up from wanting to quit?
Yeah, and she says we're not gonna quit.
Yeah.
But that's when everybody else chipped in, and I'm between Heidi, my sister, who donated, helped me on stuff, donated money. My dad, he donated, bought me a set of tires to get me back onto the track. I mean, I never missed a race, and when I came back after my car was back together, I was in redemption mode. And
that's what I want to ask you about next, because you told me, or your wife told me, one of you told me, now you need to announce me in redemption mode. But you never said what that meant. So why was I announcing? Now, I actually thought your car you brought back out looked better than your old car.
Oh, it was.
But I like the colors because I'm a Panther fan. And actually, you can see the light blue here on my shirt and on your hat. And, yeah. But what's the redemption mode? What's going on with that?
Well, the redemption mode, it was put me in where I never gave up. I never gave up. I'm back. I'm going for a wins. And the car came back way faster and more. I had more fun. I mean, I knew when the car came back, like, wow, it was a totally different car. I could follow it back and drive back to the front, and a way different handling. And redemption mode is where he was right there. He never gave up.
Yeah.
And I come out the first night, won the heat race, and the night when we come back was the Who Dairy 99.
Okay.
That's the
yeah,
night.
The Hugh Derry 99.
Man, I should have won my first feature. I led that feature, but 3 laps.
Didn't a caution flag come out, if I remember
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna say the 29 car lost control of the car out of turn 1 and 2. And
But he helped you get that car
he
back
helped me
together.
out. I can't complain on that. But the car was fast. Everybody, before that happened, I was more nervous going into the feature because that was the first night back in that car.
Okay.
And once I got comfortable with the car, my dad and everybody else says you started pulling away, and I had at least 2-3 car lengths on him before the caution came out.
All right. David, I got to move to the next question because I got more questions and I don't want to run out of time. I'm trying to keep it in an hour, even though we got a late start. This next question's for your dad, David. So, to David Sr., is there anything that your son, David Jr., does that's very frustrating for you? If so, what is it? Does he listen to you all the time? Does he want to prove you wrong? Do you want to prove him wrong? Is there, anything like that going on?
Well, just like father and son or driver and crew chief, no, he doesn't listen to what I have to say all the time. I usually say, you need to do this. Should we do this to the car? Can we make this change? No, we need to leave it alone. It's fine. Okay, well, let's check this out and make sure this is okay. He'll tell me, no, it's fine. I know there's a feature coming up or next week's coming up and things, but we need to make sure it's fixed and fixed right. That way you get back out. After that accident that he had come back, he knew the car was fast, so there was always something. Can we add a little round here? No, that'll make it too tight or too loose. I'm just trying to do something that might help you out to make you a little bit faster, because when he gets out there, he realizes he'll lead the race for, let's say it's a 20-lap race, he'll lead it for 18 laps. And the last lap, somebody will pass him because the car will start to get loose.
Okay.
We need to get the car to where it will finish at the end instead of fall off.
I know there's other drivers that can do it, so it can be done.
Yeah.
Have you ever wanted to throw a wrench at your son before?
No, I'd never want to throw a wrench at him.
I got another question for you. How do you feel about the rule changes for the Miller Lite American short trackers for this upcoming season? Are there any of them that you really like or any of them that you really dislike?
All of them I pretty much like. I think it's going to benefit the short trackers, especially the
Mustangs.
The Mustangs, the rear-wheel drive cars, because now they'll have maybe a little bit more horsepower.
It seemed like the Hondas were really starting to be dominant over the Mustangs. That's kind of what I saw there.
They were a little
Unless
bit
Kelly
dominant.
Evink was there. That guy, he can drive anything.
He can drive anything.
Yes, he can.
But yes, they would actually, the front-wheel drive cars can actually get down into the corners a little bit better than the rear-wheel drive cars. David was about the only one towards the end of the year that actually could keep up with them.
And that's good. Yeah.
With a 3.5-year-old motor.
Are there any rules that you dislike? Any of them that came out? Any changes that you dislike?
Well, there's nothing I dislike, but there's a rule I would like to actually maybe add to it if they would.
Go for it. What's your
I'd like to
opinion?
see spotters for the short trackers.
Spotters for the short trackers.
Because, things like those accidents, it's not that we're going to sit there and tell him, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's just like a late model. We need to know where the cars are so accidents like what happened to him could be prevented, hopefully.
Sure. David, Russell, we'll get into their comments. Everybody just keep commenting and asking questions. Sure. Sorry, everybody. My technical, my production manager had to have a word with me. He's got to leave. He's dog sitting today. So, anyways, we are good the rest of the way. All right. So I still got a few more questions. We've got a little bit of time. Once we get through the questions here, then I'm going to get into all your questions. So, everybody, keep commenting your questions for David Russell, and I will ask him. But I've got a few more here. David, for Junior here now. I have to say junior and senior. Right?
You know,
my
you get
my
mixed
father
up.
and I have the same thing. Let me tell you. One time, I got to tell you a story. One time we used to bank at the same bank, and I deposited my check, and they put it in my dad's account. And all of a sudden, everything was bouncing. What's going on? Well, it's what happens when you have a junior and senior name.
It happened
I know
once.
Another junior sitting over by me may have the same problem.
Happened once with me.
Yeah. So, David, was the 2020 season the closest you've ever come to winning a track championship?
2020 season was my best year in the short track division. That was the first year I ever had fun. Yes, it was my first year going for a championship.
And would you say it ended on a really good note or a sour note?
Oh, it ended on a good note. I had that part failure. You know what? I go by and think about ahead of 2021 season. It should be a good year. It's strong. I should be better than what 2020 ended.
Good.
I'll come out strong, and I got to thank people who's helped me with it, and Dana LaPierre who's helped me out.
We're going to get into all that too. David, I touched on this just a little earlier. You've raced against some really good drivers over the years at Rockford, especially from starting in 2007. Who, in your opinion, is the toughest driver to race against, and why?
There's three. Three guys who's...
Is it the three from 2019?
Correct.
Go ahead, David. Say
Good
who
old
they
pretty
are.
boy. Love Aaron Root. He's a good guy. He helped me out a lot during when I needed it. And a good old Kelly Evick. It's pretty boy, Rude, and Kelly. They're the three toughest guys to beat. But 2020 ended better, and I got more confidence in my car where I ended with the new motor this year. It should be better.
Well, maybe Pretty Boy will be coming back this year. I don't know if he's going to step back into the Miller Lite American Short Trackers. Kelly Evink, he was in and out last year. And then Aaron Rude, we kind of seen him at the end of the year, and that was our 2019 track champion. David, have you ever felt like someone intentionally ran into you or wrecked you?
Yeah.
Please do tell.
I
That's why people listen to the show. We like the dirt.
ain't gonna say named, but you got drivers who they can't control their car and they just they can't get by you. They'll move you.
Do you think it's them, or they just still don't know how to drive the track like on that inside when they're trying to pass?
No, it's them.
It's them. Okay, all right.
When you got a better line,
Yeah.
and they're challenge you and change you. I'll give you a good one. My grandfather, good old Les Wagner, who passed away. I should have won my first feature back then in I think it was 2010.
Okay.
My second short track I bought. I had Les Wagner's motor in the car. I was leading the feature. Nobody was gonna get me.
Was this the same motor that Nick Schneider, the Wild Child, ended up running last year?
No.
Oh, okay. It's like, so you had to race against your own motor?
No. My motor broke, and good old Les Wagner borrowed me his motor. And I was racing the feature, and coming down the backstretch, all I know is good old Scotty Have. He's a 00 who took me. We both collided with each other.
Now, he used to race at Rockford.
Correct.
Every week, if I remember
Yes,
right.
he's a 101 fast qualifier in 2020 short
Okay.
track weekend.
Okay. Is there any rivals you have at the Rockford Speedway?
No, I got no rivals.
None.
None. Besides myself.
Come on, gotta be somebody
Besides
out
myself.
there. No? What about Beer Man? Are you gonna be a rival with Beer Man?
He's too slow. Beer Man ain't moving.
All right. What about Austin Fowler? You have a rival with Austin Fowler?
Yeah, we'll got to race each other.
You got to race each other. Okay. All right. David, if you could have this one thing happen, what's one thing you'd like to see changed at the Rockford Speedway?
Better teching.
So you'd like to see better tech at the Rockford Speedway?
Correct.
Okay.
Not back in the days when they used to tech, they don't do it no more. I mean, I know they don't got too much tech out there because they need more guys to do it. But it's hard to race against some of the gentlemen we know who's got illegal parts in their cars.
Do they have a tech specifically for the Miller Lite American short trackers?
No, they used to.
Okay.
Danny Lugnell used to run for just the short trackers.
Okay.
But they don't have techs. They don't tech like they used to. And I think if they get down and tech all the divisions, they don't have to tech all the divisions one night. Split it.
Okay.
One night, don't let nobody know you're tech them. Tech that division. I mean, it's unfair some nights.
Okay.
You know when you got cars.
What would your dad say to that question? What's one thing you'd like to see changed at the Rockford Speedway, if anything?
I don't think
I
there's
want
anything
them to
that
bring
needs to be
back the
changed.
corn boil. I miss. How many of you miss
that
corn on the
boil.
cob at the
I'd love
Rockford
to see
Speedway?
the corn boil back.
I do.
Always went for the corn boils.
Yeah.
They'd have it.
Closer,
Everybody
look
got a corn boil.
Closer. There you go.
Corn boils were great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, always go up and be able to get 2 or 3 ears of corn. It was just delicious. Yeah, I miss those corn boils.
Yeah, that definitely. David, back to you here, Junior. Finding a good sponsor seems to be a big challenge for most drivers, if not all drivers. Is it challenging for you to do so? What advice would you give to drivers who are trying to find a sponsor? I mean, I see a lot of times people on Facebook and they're like, I need a sponsor. Is anybody interested? I mean, Racing at Rockford, we sponsored quite a few cars last year. This year, we had to cut back because my son races. So that changes things dramatically when you have somebody that races, you know. What would you say about that?
I mean, and this time with this pandemic, it is going to be harder to get sponsors, but it's more, if you need one sponsor, it's more sit down, do your research, and make a list and take the list to who you're trying to get sponsored by and show them what your career was, how many years you've been racing, what are you looking for. It's just, and if you get the sponsor, help that sponsor out too, like give back. And that's
like you know, if Windsor Pizza sponsors you, you would give back by coming here and eating food.
Correct. I support my local sponsors. I try to help them. They help me. I support back and give back to them.
Okay.
If there's certain sponsors you can't do it because they're not here, give back. Like give stuff at the end of the year, or do stuff like make stuff for them. It doesn't matter. You can give you your clothing, like what you make for like what we wearing.
Sure.
And put their logo on it, and that makes the sponsors happy because you support.
I got 3 more questions and then a comment, and then I'm going to get to everybody else. And we're at we got about 15 more minutes left, and then we'll be at the 1 hour mark. So we're looking pretty good right now. David, this is a tough question. This is real. I'm being very serious with you. Do you think you have a good chance to win the championship for this upcoming season?
Oh yeah,
you do. You know what competition's out there.
We got
Sean
rookie.
Bauer, a rookie,
Correct.
won this thing last year.
That's okay. Yes, he won the rookie, but it's not that. I come out last year. I ran with my motor in my car, 3.5 years old on that motor, and I was competitive with them. I come out this year stronger. I put more focus in my car this year because I want to come out stronger and be competitive.
Okay.
I got people who's going to help me to steer me the right way. Yes, I know we got Sean Bauer, who's our 2020 track champion.
Sure.
You know, it's you come in, you got to race. Don't think, oh, I'm not going to win. That's not the way to do it. Your
dad had something he wanted to add. Go ahead, Senior.
I just believe the 2021 season will be a lot stronger this year. He's worked a lot harder on the car this year than he's had in past.
Any new impact guns, you know, any good stuff like that? Maybe you moved up to Milwaukee or something better?
Well, maybe. We've got a few new tools and stuff sitting in the toolbox, so
all right.
We'll see what works for us.
That's good stuff. I don't even have a Milwaukee tool. No, I was all DeWalt. That was enough. David, we're going to move on past racing a little bit. I'm going to talk about another hobby that you have a little bit. I hear you've taken on a new hobby last year of fishing. Is there a species of fish you enjoy catching more? And what's better, fishing in a boat or fishing inshore? Because I know you've done both.
I say both. I like and get good exercise, walk and bank fishing. As pandemic started, there's some people like, oh, I won't do fishing. that it ain't for you. It ain't for you. You got me into it. And one night we were at your house chit-chatting, and let's go fishing. I said, last time I went fishing was I was younger, and never went back to it.
It's addicting, isn't it?
Oh, it's addicting. Man, I got laid off of work between working on a race car and didn't get to go racing. I picked up fishing.
Yeah,
And
me too.
I go on your boat, and I beat you on the first night.
That boat's kind of scary, isn't it?
Yeah, with
wobbles a
you
little.
driving.
I've fallen out of my boat twice, everybody. I hate to admit it, but I have. It's a little rowboat, and it can get kind of scary sometimes. So what's your favorite species to catch a fish?
Bass.
Which one? Large, small, white, stripe? What do you think?
Large and small.
Yeah, me too. Largemouth bass all day long. And in closing, and then after this question here, we're going to do our question of the show today. Today, I'll show you what we have to give away. I can't remember the size. Today, the winner will receive a size 2XL Windsor Pizza Parlor, the official pizza of the Rockford Speedway and Racing at Rockford, a hooded sweatshirt, and a night like tonight. And it also has really cool stuff on the back right there. So, courtesy of Windsor Pizza Parlor, you have your chance to win a size 2X sweatshirt. You've got Windsor Pizza Parlor. You have to tell me how that works. Anyways, in closing, David, anything else you'd like to say to everyone that's listening or to the sponsors? You know,
I got a shout
out. You got
out.
Big plans, for this year? Do you got anything you want to release tonight?
I do own another car.
Whoa.
Another short tracker.
Another Super Cup, right?
No. I retired from doing that.
Wait, you retired from it?
Correct.
Okay.
I bought the Super Cup for my daughter, but my daughter didn't want to run it because she didn't like laying down. I enjoyed running. I did get a feature out of it. I won the Who Dairy 99, started last, and won. Never been in it, and I won the feature on the last lap.
That car is so good at Rockford Speedway.
Oh, yeah.
So what division are you racing then, or what would we say here?
I own another short tracker.
You own another short tracker?
Yep, I own 2 short trackers. I got a couple drivers in mind who's going to drive it, but
Can you say who used to drive it?
No, I can't.
Okay, all right. Top secret, everybody. We'll have to stay tuned as to whose car David acquired. So do you have a couple drivers that you could maybe release and tell us who we could maybe expect to see?
Maybe one, I can say.
Is it going to be a split time deal with more than one driver in the car?
Correct.
So this driver will just be competing for track time and maybe get a winner here or there.
Correct. I can say one of them maybe is called Pretty Boy.
Really?
Correct.
Okay, I know who that guy is. Is it going to be like number 8X?
No, it's going to be...
Is it going to be 7 or 17?
I love my 8.
Okay.
It's going to be 88.
88. Go figure. Okay, all right. David, that's what I have for you. Now we're going to get into our question of the show. Everybody listen up. I have a free size 2XL hoodie to give away. The first person that can answer this question wins. All right? So you have to comment on the Racin at Rockford page. The first person that comments, and I'm going to be watching the comments here, okay? I'm getting it ready. And then I'm going to go over the audience's questions here because I have 40 comments. All right, here we go. In 1990, who was the Miller Lite American Short Tracker track champion? Once again, in 1990, who was the Miller Lite American Short Tracker champion? Go ahead and text, type in your message right now under comments under the Racin at Rockford page. And the first person that gets it right, we will go ahead. Oh, now it's lagging. Go figure. There it goes. So we got 2 comments already. Okay, all right. First person, they got it right. And she's not going to count because that's your better half. So I'm going to go with the person right after them. And I don't know how to say her name. All right, so the answer is Mike Lloyd. Actually, Carolyn spelled it wrong, but the 1990 Miller Lite American Short Tracker champion, Heidi, how do you say her last name?
Rapoon.
Rapoon's got it right. Mike Lloyd is the answer. So, Heidi, you will need to stop down here at Windsor Pizza Parlor and claim your sweatshirt. Congratulations for having that right. So we've got the answer. It is Mike Lloyd. Now I've got a bunch of good stuff here. If we're going to go back to our first comment. Justin checking in saying hello, everybody. My uncle from Arizona saying woohoo. Let's see. Mikey Mahern saying hey, guys. Chance Lounsbury saying hey, guys. Justin Tyler said he tried the Italian beef at Windsor Pizza Parlor today with cheddar. It was great. Tessa says hi, Uncle David. Warren Therian just got back from New Smyrna. Like the hat. Oh, thank you. Mine or yours, one of the two. Your wife says hi. Kenny Hemmer says hi, John and David. Justin says, I think I'll have to come racing in 2021. We'll see about that. Jimmy A. Sr. checking in. Hello, everyone. Good to see the show and having fun. David Russell, good luck this coming season.
Oh, thank you.
Justin Tyler's got 2 questions for you. What was your biggest win?
My biggest win would have been the American Super Cup. The first year for Who Dairy 99.
Yeah.
That would have been my biggest win because I started last and with 17 cars.
Okay.
Means that's a field to drive through with a 1-cylinder motor, and it's all wide open.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was my biggest one.
All right. 2, the night you slammed the front stretch wall, what went through your mind during that moment? Well, you said you were unconscious, so what's the last thing you remember happening there?
The last time I remember is just, like I said, killing the motor, and that's the last time I remember is killing the motor and then ending up in turn 1 on the bottom.
Right. Had another comment. A Volvo. Michelle Perillo checking in saying, hey, guys. Heidi says, first girl in the family, Haley Roberts, David Russell's niece that raced. So you had another family member that raced. Heather Russell also saying about Haley Roberts. Dana Lapierre checking in saying, hi, David. So your niece drove car 16.
Correct.
So that's not an 8 car.
Nope.
Nicole checking in saying good evening, guys. Mark's asking you, what's your favorite night of racing?
Favorite night of racing? It's always a Saturday night under the lights.
No, but maybe she means like favorite event. What would you say?
4th of July.
4th of July?
Correct. The 4th of July when
The
you
fireworks
race.
are the best.
2020 season with fireworks was the best.
Definitely. Also, your sister says she'll always be your number 1 supporter. Should cheer for you as long as you race. That's good. To my other technical guy, to Jimmy A. Jr., your dad is telling you to bring home a pizza. All right. My dad says, good job, son. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Got to stop mirror driving, Mark Bielefeld says. I think he's talking to you.
Wrong
Do you
driver.
mirror drive, David?
Wrong driver.
Wrong driver, okay. And Dana Lapierre says, I bet you'll win a few races this year. What are you thinking?
Oh, I bet. I got a shout out to Dana Lapierre. He helped me with Kelly Evick, got me my motor back together. Like I said, my motor's been refreshing.
All right. And then
Listens to Dad once or twice, he might. Maybe if he listens to Dad once or twice, he might.
so there we go. There's that crew chief and driver Cole Trickle Harry Hogg thing going on, right?
You better bring me
there.
some ice cream first.
Yeah, that's right. You got to have ice cream. That's right.
It'll be melted by the time we get out there.
Why the number 8? We've already answered that question earlier. Jamie Brandt wants to know if she can have your autograph, David.
Like always, she's always got it. Get it from her kid.
She's got to come down to the pits after the races,
Correct.
right? All right. And Mark Conning asking if the Beer Man races this league. No, Beer Man does not race this league, but if he did,
He's
you think
under
you
me.
beat him, huh?
He's under me.
You got him. Okay.
He's in a little slower division.
Justin Tyler says he'll race you. So there we go.
He's got to have her car first.
All right. Ronnie Robinson says something about he hates a naked car, whatever that means. I don't know. Let's see. Hope it's going to be a great season 2, Mark. We got some talk about fishing. Max Milam checking in. Once you catch that huge bass, you never turn back. I agree. Wouldn't you say so?
Correct. I tried to fish on Friday night because
Yeah.
it gives me good luck on Saturday night to go racing.
Yes. You know what? Maybe we usually fish on Sundays, though.
Yeah, you work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my schedule sucks, and I've been off for a week. Let me see if I got any. Okay, I got a few more. Let's see. Here's a few more questions here. Let's see. Let me back up a little bit. Somebody said Rich Bickle in a short tracker. George Sparkman, other aunt. Tony Hawk. They asked Tony Hawk. Okay. And then Jeff Hetherington stopping and saying, hey, guys, thank you. Dylan Roberts saying hi, Uncle David and Papa. Justin says hi, see you. Hi, Justin. We see you too. Justin Tyler saying, I challenge you this 10 laps. David Russell versus me. No, because we actually used my street vehicle against my son's Sixer, and he lapped me. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to say. So that race is done and over with. That thing's history. David, how do you feel about your niece racing?
I enjoyed watching my niece racing. I mean, it sucks she not in the car, but when she was out there, I enjoyed watching her. I was nervous because, you know, it was her, when I watched her first year running in the Bandits, I was a little nervous, making sure, because you got a lot of cars out there, and with her never ever been in a race car, it was more nervous watching her race. But I enjoyed her racing.
Okay. Have you ever practiced a car in December?
Oh yeah, I
think the guy whose car you practiced.
I think it was Ronnie Robinson. Yeah. I think it was a 47 car.
And that looks like all the questions I have. All right. So for all of you who want to know, next week we are here again at Windsor Pizza Parlor, and we will have the Swiss Family Robinson in. Oh, I mean, Terrence Robinson, Johnny Robinson, and the 2020 Bargain Hunter Sportsman Track Champion, Trevor Robinson, all here on the show. Maybe Jimmy and Robbie Robinson, maybe. I'm still working that out. I only got one mic, though, so that's how we're going to have to do that. You got a shout-out. Go for your shout-out.
I got to thank to all my sponsors this year who came on board for the 2021 season. My biggest one right now who's on the hood of the car is Racin At Rockford. I got to thank to him. I got to thank to Windsor Pizza, who came on board for 2021 season. Windsor Auto Sales. If you need a car, go check them out. Good old Nicky Goodboy. I got Mike and Jan, who's been on board, and then Heidi's Creation, who's on board. I'm still looking for more sponsors. Because I got another car. I got to try to put sponsors on that car. I'll try to fund 2 cars out this year, and I got to thank my wife, who lets me to get to do what I love to do.
Absolutely. That nobody can do it without the better half. That's for sure. Your wife says stupid autocorrect. Mike Lloyd says checks in and says, you make me feel old. That was 30 years ago. Awesome. Okay. So one more final shout out to our sponsors, Windsor Pizza Parlor. We're here right now. We gave away the car. The winner of the race car giveaway was Shane Hamilton. He will be getting a phone call once again. Shane Hamilton, congratulations. You are the winner of a race car. I hope this is something you've waited your whole life to do, because now it's a reality. Also, a lot of pizza specials going on at Windsor Pizza Parlor. 24-inch, if you want a really big pizza, 24-inch 2-topping pizza, $25. 18-inch 3-topping pizza, $20. 16-inch 2-topping pizza, $15. A 14-inch 4-topping pizza, $14. Or you can stop out. You can get that for delivery or pickup. If you stop in and sit down, you can have 2 pitchers of domestic beer and a 16-ounce 1-topping pizza, only $21. Also, I'm going to have you step over here and say hi real quick. Also, 2 pitchers of domestic beer and a 16-ounce 1-topping pizza and 20 traditional wings, $35. And let's talk to this guy right over here. He drives the Purple People Eater. This is Mike Shipman. Mike, you're just going to say something into the mic here. Mike, are you still, what kind of car do you drive? Just say, get close into the mic.
1992 Chrysler Imperial.
Why Chrysler? Everybody else is running GM and Fords. What's up?
It was all I could get.
So you didn't win. What are you going to do now?
I'm still going to run that Chrysler.
Okay, all right.
Hey, I might not win, but I still have a lot of fun.
All right, that sounds good. Go ahead and get back to him. Thank you, Mike. Remember, Windsor Pizza Parlor has the best Italian beefs in Northern Illinois, made your way. I highly recommend it. I had it the first time I came here. I'm trying something new on the menu every time. Tonight was the calzone, and it was really good. We will post pictures of it. But But remember, when you come down here, tell them Racin at Rockford sent you, or you can call them for delivery, 815-708-7309. A special thanks to Jimmy A., definitely my mentor that got me rolling here with the show. Thank you, Jimmy A., for your great advice and all you've done. Jane's Cafe, located at 121 Dearborn Street, Beloit, Wisconsin. You can dine in or carry out. They're open tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. and through Friday from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. They are closed on Sundays, at least for right now. You can find them on Facebook for their 6 daily breakfast specials, and you can order breakfast all day long. David, have you been to Jane's Cafe?
No, not yet.
You got to go there, tell them Racin at Rockford sent you, and you got to have the Sassy Cassie. It is really, really good.
Try that.
Doesn't it sound good?
Oh, yeah.
But promise me you'll tell them Racin at Rockford sent you, right?
I have to because you're on my hood.
Yeah. And my last and final, well, I appreciate that. My last and final sponsor, Magnuson Landscaping, quality service at an affordable price. You can reach them at 815-315-7819 for all your plowing and salting needs. You can find them at Facebook on Magnuson Landscaping. The areas they cover is Rockford to Beloit. Tell them Racin at Rockford sent you. That's all I got. We will see you here next Sunday night, and we will not have these technical problems. We have to update a computer. So I'm sour. I'm sorry. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. Thank you for having us, Windsor Pizza. We're out of here.